Have you ever listened to a commercial or hear a message and all of a sudden you're thinking, hey, it feels like they're talking to me? Would you want to know how to create that kind of connection with your potential customers and clients? Well, stay with me as we review Top of Mind.
Welcome to your podcast, Online Marketing with Juan Llerena. To succeed in any entrepreneurial project, you need to get prepared and you must learn to learn, unlearn and relearn. In this podcast, we'll help you in 3 ways. First, giving you an opportunity to join a community of entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs just like you, to support you and learn from each other. Second, by bringing you for free tools, tips and tricks to help you advance your projects faster and to teach you how to let the world know about your products and services. Third, by providing you with inspiration, motivation, and ideas to continue your entrepreneurial journey. We cover subjects of marketing, sales, leadership, and entrepreneurship. Join our tribe of entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs and take charge of your destiny. What are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Good morning, entrepreneurs at heart. Welcome to your online marketing podcast with Juan Llerena. Welcome to our 11th episode. We're almost at the very end of this fun 3rd season that is just going, I'm really amazed, it's just going so fast. I've been able to really enjoy this season. I've been reading a lot of books and trying to really find those things that do connect with me, but also that I find they're valuable for you to be able to accomplish different things, in your personal and your professional life, because I believe that your personal life, it can be only happy and successful if you have a good business life and the other way around, right? You can't have one without the other one. And I hope that if you're interested in entrepreneurship, marketing, branding for the business that you own or for the business that you work with, that we can find different ideas and different tools that you can utilize to improve your career, to better your chances, your opportunities, to reach out new levels of success with the products that you can create and the ideas that you can come out of it, to be able to sell more, to reach out to more customers, to connect better with your audience. So in this book review, I'm actually going back to marketing once again because this is a topic, this is a subject that is really passion for me, and because I'm always loving to hear how to satisfy better my customers' needs and how to discover what those needs are in order to again satisfy those needs. So welcome to this book review. This book review is about Top of Mind, a book from 2017, a book review written by John Hall, and so it's from 2017, and I love this approach and in this book and about the marketing and the way he presents it, because it's very aligned with my view about marketing as well. A marketing that is fresh, is more relevant, is up to date, and it breaks away from the old marketing school where it was all about marketing about me, and this is the opposite. Is marketing about you. It's marketing not about you, but it's marketing about you as you being your customer, being your clients, being the people that are going to use the product, are going to be the ones benefiting from the products that you create or from the products that you sell. So Top of Mind, it's a fresh approach about marketing and the different things that you can do that you should consider for your brand and for your product to be able to create this specific message, to craft that message, whether it's your pitch, elevator pitch, whether it's your your mission statement, and how you share and how you connect with your customers, and these different tools that you have, whether it's a printed advertising, whether it's digital marketing, or social media, your blog, your podcast, your YouTube channel, or anything that is going to get you in front of an audience and it's going to captivate them and getting closer and closer to you. Okay, so if you want to know how to create that kind of message, as I explained at the beginning, that it feels like, hey, it feels like he or she is talking to me, how do they know? And this is exactly how I feel, with that kind of problem that you just described, then this is the podcast for you today, and I hope that you find this to be valuable and that you can connect with us and hopefully follow us and follow my podcast when you are doing different things in your daily basis. If you're stuck in traffic, you're driving down the highway to get to work, whether you're walking your dog, you're just going for a walk around the park, or just inside the mall if it's too cold out if you're in the Midwest, or if you are just kind of hitting the gym in your treadmill at home or at the gym, you know, this is for you. And I want to do this with the intention of giving you information that you find relevant and valuable that you can use, or you can pass into others, or that you can actually help me expand this podcast by telling your friends, your family, your parents, your kids, you know, the kids in college, the kids in high school. The sky is the limit, but you need to know how to articulate all of this, and that's what we're trying to do. And the challenge here is that we're in a marketing world right now where there's a lot of information. The information is accessible to a lot of people on the fingertips, and there's like many vehicles. So the challenge is, how can you be different? How can you be relevant? How can you stand out from the crowd? How can you make this beautiful, magical music so it stands out from the noise from in between the crowd, right? And the question here is, how can you accomplish all of that without really breaking the bank, without really having to dedicate a huge amount of budget to do this? Because you can do it with the right tools, with the right information, but you have to think through it, and you have to consider different key elements which are lined up in this book, which, like I said, is called Top of Mind. And because what you ultimately want to create is that when anybody thinks about you, they're thinking about what the problem it is that it resolves, what it is, the story that is behind the brand and the product. Like I explained in the Fusion podcast before, if you haven't listened to it, I invite you to go back to the previous podcast episode, and you can find it on my website, jlbmedia.com, or on those main podcasting sites such as iTunes. We're in Stitcher, you know, in Google Podcasts, Google Music, and different podcast tools anyways. And you can find us at our website. That will be the easiest way, jlbmedia.com. And listen how you can align your internal culture with your external brand to create your messages, to create your marketing messages to deliver to those customers. And like I said, earn their trust, build confidence, position yourself as an expert, create this relationship with them. So when they need to consume that product, when they need to solve that product that they problem that they have, and when they want to talk to someone that they feel is an expert, that has expertise, knowledge, and that they have built a relationship, they're gonna look for you. Because people do business with people, people do deal with people. They just don't want to deal with machines or robots, right? So the traditional me marketing message, as is explained in this book really well, is to create new strategies that focus on the you marketing. So that is on everybody's marketing. So how can we tell the difference? Well, let's go back to the beginning and say how the traditional marketing used to be, right? You had these sales people, like your star salespeople, where they had to do a lot of door knocking, or they had to do a lot of cold calling to try to get people that had no idea about your product or what you offer into this. And to an extent, this still works for certain markets. You know, for like you can see these QVC TV shows, or like these commercials, and you know the national TV channels where they just play over and over and over stuff that, you know, you probably don't need and you end up wanting, right? And that still works to an extent, but because a lot of the population, a lot of the younger generations are migrating and have already migrated to the digital content, to the digital channels, to the internet, to live stream, and you know, YouTube, and you know, Netflix, and also they browse the web, and there's these many platforms where they can just go and get what they need as they need it, when they need it. They don't have to wait for the commercials to be over. They don't have to wait for, you know, for a show to show, right, at the time when the show is airing, but they can actually go and find it when it's convenient for them. So this is creating a new challenge, it's creating a new paradigm, and the paradigm is that it's giving us an opportunity to capitalize on that, and as marketers, to be able to create that opportunity to get closer to our audience, right? And you can do, like, you know, Facebook ads, you can do, you know, a lot of Google marketing campaigns with AdSense, and a bunch of other things and techniques. But the reality is, whether it's digital or non-digital, physical world, you can tell, and maybe this might be you too, like I can tell you from my own personal experience that I hate when people are trying to sell to me. Like, you know, if they're pitching their product to me, they're trying to push it to me, and I'm not really interested. I don't need it, I don't buy it, I don't really care for their product. That's one of the things that I hate the most, when I get a call to my cell phone and there's somebody trying to, somehow they got a hold of my number and they're trying to sell me something even though I don't need it, because the last thing on my list is I want to be sold. I want to start usually the conversations. If I'm interested in something, I will be looking online and doing my own research at different places. And when I have a better understanding of what are the best places that I can get that information and what are the most knowledgeable people about, that particular product that I need. So let's say I'm buying I'm looking to string my rackets and I need to buy, new strings. Well, before I go to the pro, I would rather do my own research, narrow down my options, see what I need. Well, you need this kind of, strings because they give you more power. This ones give you more control for your tennis racket and whatnot, And then at that point, when I have made my mind and I have found the different stores that sell that product or that can do the work for me, then I will reach out to them, whether it's online or whether I will, show up to their store and talk to them and have a more of a positive conversation that I can at least have more knowledge on what I'm about to decide. So you can't expect your customers not to have any idea about what's going on, right? They want your help, but they are smart. So things have changed to the point where they don't want you to be selling things to them just that same way. So you want to create a structure and strategy in your marketing to get them closer to you every single time. So for instance, if I am the one that is selling those string rackets for tennis players, well, instead of putting my strings just for sale or just trying to force you to buy something that maybe you don't even own a racket, what I can do is I can create an inbound marketing campaign where I can just post content on my website or my e-commerce store where I can sell my services. But I don't want to start selling just by selling, right? I want to create, let's say, some sort of a strategy with postings about, what are the best strings right now in the market. Why you should, if you're looking for more power with your shots, what kind of string would you need and what do you need to consider, right? If you are a different style of player and you are playing in a different surface, well, what is the best string for you and what's the best tension that you need, right? Because people, when they're looking for, that's how they're going to be looking for it. Okay, let's use a different example. So let's say you have a garden and you are selling flowers, right? You're selling flowers or plants, shrubs and things like that. And well, like maybe your customer is not interested in you selling to them just like right away, right? But maybe you can create again a podcast show where you can talk about the different creations that can be made, maybe in a completely fun and different way. You come from the entertainment side, and then also you engage the consumers, and they're just there not thinking that they're going to buy anything. But then at least it creates an opportunity to, at some point during this conversation, say, hey, by the way, if you're looking to create this, or if you're looking for tools for gardening, or if you're looking to buy seeds, or if you're looking to, come have someone to come and, kind of restructure your garden, okay, which I don't know anything about. And maybe that's the person on the other side that are listening to it, and you have built a relationship. They trust you now. They know what you sell. They know what you do, and they believe that you're good at that. Then you're doing that you marketing, because you're focusing on what the needs of the customers are, and then you're building that trust. Now, another key point about this book is that in order to, they say in this book that in order to stay relevant to what is important to your customers, you have to start, using content triggers and creating a knowledge base or a knowledge bank, okay? Because you want to facilitate that process and save time and share information with maybe people within your team, whether it's your marketing team or the people that is providing that post customer service. So what great idea to really have a repository of information where your customers can access and find their answers when they need it, as they need it, without having to have someone replying an email or replying on a chat or waiting for someone to respond to you or call you back. Because when customers need a solution, they need it now. They don't need it tomorrow. They don't need it by tonight. They don't need it by next week. They need it by right now or yesterday, right? And what you want to avoid is having them going somewhere else where they can actually get an answer for the same problem that they have. Okay, so content triggers are important because you need to design those in relation to what's important to them, what is it they're looking for, and whether it's to resolve the problem or whether it is to give them that post customer satisfaction that they're looking for. Okay, and that only builds more trust and it builds more loyalty for your customers. This book also talks about creating a relationship with your customers based on trust. Okay, and you have to be really, in order to create a brand that is likable, a brand that is trustable, you have to be transparent. You have to be transparent on who you are, what your mission is as a company, what your vision is down the road, what where you're keeping an eye on, and where you want to get to, and again, being honest and being transparent. You can't be building relationships to earn people's trust if you are not telling them the truth. And believe me that, because people buy from people don't buy from machines or or likes such, then it's good that you build these relationships, but they need to be built with the centerpiece is going to be, what's the motive, what is that reason, what is that drive for that business to be existing in the business world, right? Because if you can connect that with your customers, if you are not being honest, if you're there just for the money, or if you are selling stories that aren't true, your customers, your clients are eventually going to find out. And imagine just losing all that trust you have built. I mean, you're risking to put your business out of business just because you are not really delivering on that trust part and that transparency. So it is important that you do that by being trustworthy, telling people the truth, whether if you're saying that something, let's say, I don't know, you're gonna buy 10 pounds of meat, and well, when you put them in the oven, they're gonna shrink to 8 pounds because you lose 2 pounds when they're cooking. Okay, well, would the customer want to know that? Right. I mean, wouldn't they rather know that in order to be able to plan better their meals, or to, let's say, if they have some special guests and they're cooking for them, wouldn't they appreciate that you tell them all these things in advance? Or if you tell them that you're servicing their vehicles, right, because you have an auto shop, and that if you sell them this, repair is going to cost them less because you're going to use cheaper parts that are only going to last like 20,000 miles versus these other parts that are going to last 100,000 miles, 80,000 more miles, and it's going to last them 4 more years than the first option, but it's only going to cost them like 10% more. Why wouldn't you recommend, to have the more expensive option? Or if they tell you that they're only looking to sell the vehicle and they're not going to drive more than a couple thousand miles, well, at least you should disclose things like that, because that will build that relationship and that trust. And you have to be transparent. People want to know more, and if you have the information, they'll appreciate it if you share it with them, right? It is important too that you try to build, continuously build your networks, and do like networking circles, or that you create something for the people to be in front of a crowd. And you don't always have to be telling people the solutions or the answers, but you can just engage with them by listening to them, right? So that's another point that I really like about the book, because sometimes you just go to these networking reunions and people say, well, here's my car, this is what I do, and it's like people are just feeling like, okay, what are you good for? How can I use you? And yes, it is good to know what you do with your business and what problems you solve and resolve. But the important part here is to try to build relationships with people, so then they think of you even beyond that one particular service, because that might extend into some other opportunities for you on the future, right? So you want to build relationships that are honest, that are real, that you're focusing to really helping people more than selling stuff, because that selling part and the making money is going to be a consequence. It's going to be a byproduct of engaging with people, of wanting to help people, of doing what you love, what you have a passion for, which is the core of your business as your internal culture. So again, I recommend you to go back and listen to the Fusion podcast that I just recorded for the previous week, and I think you're gonna like it and see how these two intersect. Okay, so it's important to do that. Now when you want to connect with your customers and you want to really create a good positive impression, and so you have to give your business a strong purpose to create that brand that is different from everybody, and at the same time you want to share that message and that purpose with everyone in your company and with the world, right? You want to share that with everyone, so that will make it stronger. And again, it's just trying to create this business that is so resilient that is going to give you opportunities to do things that you didn't imagine possible. Again, this is a very, very summarized version of what's in this book. There's a lot of material. There's like a lot of meat to digest. My suggestion is to, well, just start looking at your message, or your current message. Is it a one message? Are you sending more than one messages for your customers because you have too many products? Is the message clear? Is the message getting diluted because there's not good communication within your company or your organization? And why you should care about marketing, even if you're not selling products or services? Well, I bet you have to have a job at least, right? So if you're gonna work for somebody in a company, you have to know how to market your skills. You need to know how to sell yourself to others so you can advance, create new opportunities for you, access new job career opportunities, or maybe even better, advance within the organization that you are if you're happy right there. Okay, so to summarize this book in a couple of words, and I know, remember, it's unfair because this review is probably not even 20 minutes. Okay, and I just want to respect your time. Is that Top of Mind really provides this opportunity to break away from the traditional me marketing, and it goes to focus on what the customer's needs are, and trying to be relevant with content that's being put out there, so then that you can build these relationships and they start getting closer to you, and guess what, when they're ready to buy, you're there for them, and guess what, they're going to buy from the people they know, from the organizations or the businesses that they have created some sort of a relationship, because hopefully you've been there in the long run. Then they're going to trust you will be there for when you need them, when they need you again. Okay, and to build relationships with your customers, with your clients, and with people in general that they might be prospects later down the road, you have to listen to their common struggles, and listen to their questions, listen to what their concerns are. And once you understand and have a good understanding of what those concerns are, then you can start answering or providing answers with real products to solve real problems. Okay, and not the other way around. Okay, so my invitation to you is to please connect with me if you love marketing. This is the podcast for you. I'm working on what the next season is for 2019, and I'm really excited about that. I really want to thank you for accompanying us all this so far 11 weeks. We got one more week to go to complete this podcast series, but I want to know if you like this. If you want me to do this again in the future, please share with me. Go to my website, JLLBmedia.com, fill out the comment form, and just submit it there. Let me know what you think. If you like it, what you like the most, what you like the least. Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Would you want me to just focus on one thing, or do you kind of like this system of having different things, different tools that we can use as resources to become better better people and better human beings, enjoy more life, be happier, and at the same time further our lives, our careers, and try to be an overall 360 degrees better people all around, okay, and have better businesses as well. Well, and I'm gonna leave you with that thought. I wish you a great week, and as we're going into December, I hope that you are preparing well for the upcoming Christmas that it's just happening in maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and that you are preparing yourself well to enjoy this season. It's a short season, so make the best out of it. I hope that your business thrives, and that's great, but at the same time that you have enough time to relax, to be with the ones you love, to take the time to hug them, kiss them, and tell them how much you love them. Okay, other than that, I hope you connect with me. This is Juan Llerena at JLLBmedia.com, and bringing you this online marketing podcast with Juan Llerena. Well, you take care. Talk to you next week. Goodbye.